Hi everybody, thanks for joining Create with Dee. Today we'll be making this cute little card. It's made out of punches, and I had spied this design from fellow demonstrator Sherilee Fillion, I believe is how I say her last name. So thanks Sherilee for sharing it with us. And the balloon is made by using punches from the Cupcake punch as well as the large oval. So let's get started making this card. What I did is I've already punched out some of the images. For the cloud images, we're going to use the icing top from the Cupcake punch. So again, that's that image here. And we need 4 images. We're going to use 3 for the clouds, and 1 image we're going to be using to mask our design on our card base. With the large oval punch, we need to punch out 3 punches. This is punched out with Pacific Point, Real Red, and Daffodil Delight. And I'll go ahead and we'll punch out one other together just so that you can see how easy it is to use those punches. Okay, so that's Daffodil Delight. Okay, so we've got our images ready to go. And so the first thing that I did is made my little cloud images on the background. I'm going to show you a second design that I'm going to call a step up from my basic card here. So the first step in the stepping up is I went ahead and trimmed out a scallop edge on the bottom. Okay, so using a piece of Whisper White, this is trimmed at, let's see here, it's 3 1/4 by 5, and then I punched the scalloped edge at the end. First thing we want to do is use one of our punched out images that's going to be our cloud. So again, I'm going to mask off on the Whisper White using one of my extra icing top images. But isn't that just a perfect cloud shape? Okay, so just starting where you want, I've got a sponge dauber and my this actually isn't Pacific Point, but you would want to use it. This is a Fond Farewell, but I thought it was a pretty close color in my Stampin' Spots that I had. And to mask, just kind of holding it down and sponging around the image. So that's how that looks. I'm going to come back and hit that edge a little bit more. Voila, a cloud! And so you just keep moving your mask images around wherever you want your cloud image. And you could use Dado tape. This is removable and you wouldn't have to hand hold it. I just as soon hand hold it and have a little ink on my fingers, but as the saying goes, it's a good day when you have that. Let's do one more together. So again, maybe we'll have this one, kind of floating off of the edge. And so when you do this type of a mask to make your clouds, if you wanted to, you could change out all of the different blue tones and really get a nice variety. Okay, so I'm going to continue and do that until this is all complete. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm on my last mask. And there we go. So we've got our little cloud background. And Stampin' Up! Has the Sizzix Build a Cupcake die as well, so you can imagine doing the same thing on a scrapbook page, only you'd have a bigger icing top, and then, to really make your own scrapbook page layout. And you could do it with this as well. Okay, so we've got our cloud background done. So now I'm going to go ahead and layer it onto the Pacific Point piece of cardstock. Got my snail adhesive, and this cardstock is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, so we've got that, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on my card base, which is Whisper White, cut at 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, folded in half. I'll just make sure I've got it going the right direction. I do. Okay. All right. next thing that we'll do is we'll build our little basket, or build our hot air balloon. And this is made by putting 3 of our large oval punches together, punch outs. And so we'll put our 2 pieces together like this on the background, and then put our third. We've got some linen thread that's going to make our basket strings here. And then I've gone ahead and I've ran this would be the cupcake holder. I've punched that out with soft suede and ran it through my Big Shot using the lattice, the square lattice embossing folder, and then that gives it a nice basket look. If you don't have the embossing folder, this is the stamp set, Build a Cupcake stamp set that coordinated with the punch in the Occasions Mini. So that may or may not be available at the time of this video. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll put together, start to put together our basket. Oh, before I did that, like I said, this is going to be a step up, and what I want to do is I actually want to emboss my balloons as well, so we'll be right back. To add that little something extra to our balloons, I'm going to run them through the Big Shot using the Perfect Polka Dot embossing folder, so I can put all 3 images in there at once. I'm going to put the embossing folder onto the platform and put it between the 2 pieces of acrylic. Make our little acrylic sandwich. And we have our embossed images here now with the little polka dots. And I did the same thing then with the basket bottom using the lattice lace. To build the basket, again, the little strings of the basket are from the linen thread. The linen thread is 2 ply, so I just cut about a 3.5 inch strip, and then I peeled 2 strips apart, and then got my 3. Whoops, my battery cut out to get my 3 little basket strips. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my basket upside down, and I'm going to go ahead and put some snail adhesive on the back. And I started out, oops, I'm going to put 1 string in the center. This was the hardest part of the whole card, is to get these strings to stay down and then get your hands off of it as well. And then, so I put 1 in the center, and then 1 kind of in between that first scallop here. Oops, and like I said, that's the trickiest part. And I might not have any sticky strip on that side. I'll come back. Get that down. A little more over here. Okay, there we go. And then I've got my embossed balloons. And so, let's see, I'm going to turn them on the back side, and I want my yellow on the top. So again, I'm going to come in with some well, actually, let's use Dado. I would recommend using Dado to start with. That way you can, for the balloons, that way you can reposition them if you want. Alrighty, so I've got my balloons like this. And then I'll get my yellow on the top. Tell you, this little basket is causing me troubles here right now. Okay. So that's how we make our hot air balloon. Flip it over, and I'm going to put sticky strip here on top. And this is where my basket's going to come in. Again, I'm working on the back side of it yet. And I'm going to trim up these strings when I get them all positioned. There we go. Get some of my scissors, and we'll just trim those so those strings don't show. And we'll be all set. Okay, so I stamped Imagine the Possibilities, and that's from Wordplay. Wordplay is on sale at 30% off on Stampin' Up! During the month of May at the time of this video. So now it's time to finish up our card. Okay, again, I'm going to take my Stampin' Spot and my sponge dauber, and on the 3 remaining cutouts, punch outs of the cupcake icing, I'm going to edge around with the blue. Okay, so we'll get those all done. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so nice to have spring actually arrive here in Indiana. Even though it's still a little wet, it's warmed up a little bit, and oh, it's so nice outside. Okay, so there's our little 3 cloud images. Now it's just a matter of putting it all together. I'm going to go ahead and actually just put some snail adhesive right kind of in the middle of the card where the balloon's going to be. Okay, so here's my hot air balloon. And you can kind of pull down a little bit on the basket to get the strings straight. Okay, so then with the cards, or with the clouds, I'm going to use dimensionals, Stampin' Dimensionals, get some foam dot action here, and we'll really pop some 3D clouds. And kind of like it when it kind of goes off of the edge of the card. It just kind of makes it even more 3D-y looking. Okay, so go ahead and put another dimensional over here. And layer the third cloud on top of one of these other images, the cloud image. So cute! Okay, so there's our card. Here's one that's you know, just normal with punches and stamps, and then one that might be considered a step up with doing the embossing and a little trim work. So I hope you enjoy making your hot air balloon card. Thanks everybody. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.